It grows on the most beautiful places on earth. We are talking about coffee. Like here, in Indonesia. We are going to make a journey to meet local coffee farmers. We will listen to their stories and experiences. We are going to discover coffees from the Gayo region in the far north of the island of Sumatra. But we will also visit coffee growers on the islands of Bali and Flores, and several coffee areas on the island of Java. Many of these coffees will be cupped by Coffee Cupping International, the initiator of the journey. So come and join us, and let's explore authentic Indonesian coffee. We will start our journey in a village in the highlands of the Gayo region. The coffees that grow in this mountainous area are considered as one of the best coffees from Indonesia, already known throughout the world. Gayo people have already been growing coffee for many generations, and the picking of the coffee beans is still done by hand. They have their own language, which has no writing system from its own. That's why folk tales, stories and poetry are passed down verbal by singing traditional Gayo songs. We are excited to be their guest. We visit a coffee cooperative, which is managed and owned by the farmers themselves.
We have 40 villages in the cooperative area and then 2,000 farmers. And most of the board is younger because this cooperative is a younger cooperative.
It's good to meet coffee professionals from abroad in order to bring a larger volume of coffee into line with the international quality standards. The cooperative likes to receive input during this visit, so the coffee can even be more in line with international expectations.
I hope we will have a long-term relationship through the guidance of your government here, that we could able to work together.
Thanks to the mountains in the Gayo region, the conditions for growing high-quality Arabica beans are perfect. But Gayo coffee also consists of Robustas and a variety of long crane beans. It is very important to preserve the plants that produce the coffee beans.
Karena ini masyarakat Gayo harus melestarikan tentang kopi Gayo, karena kalau tidak ada yang peduli tentang kopi Gayo, lama-kelamaan juga akan musnah. Itu yang kita khawatirkan gitu. Jadi untuk melestarikan, pelestarian kopi Gayo harus tetap ada walaupun sampai kapanpun gitu.
We need to see your storage, so at least we see the indicator of your temperature.
Regarding the storage of the coffee beans, farmers indicated that the temperature and humidity are fluctuating a lot due to the subtropical weather. Although it will not be easy, storage should be improved. But there are several possibilities to receive help and support for the coffee farmers. One of them is offered by Astra, one of Indonesia's largest companies, which runs a social program to support the farmers. This DSA program provides various forms of support to village communities, ranging from training, organizational strengthening, improving access to working capital, and support for marketing products for export. Like here, during a coffee cupping with Indonesian coffees, organized in the Netherlands.
The ESA program is Astra Social Contribution Programs focusing on region-based entrepreneurship championing local village products. Desa Sejahtera Astra or DSA has been implemented since 2018 and collaborate with central government, local governments, university, startups, and communities.
Time for cupping with coffees from the Gayo region. During a cupping, coffee is judged on several aspects. Grown at a higher altitude, Gayo coffees have a dry, earthy taste, combined with rich, fruitier flavors. Coffee Cupping International can issue cupping certificates with the scores of the coffees. And of course, a higher rating results in a higher price of the coffee. To achieve a high and stable quality coffee, good processing facilities are needed.
In our region, processing is the most problem. The processing is most problem. The facility is the most problem.
But there's good news. A new facility recently came available, and we are going to have a look. Although the facility is already in use, there are still some parts which can be improved. It rains during our visit, so plastic is used to cover the beans, otherwise they might become moldy.
We want to build another like a drying house with the UP system, like with the solar top.
A drying house with solar panels on the roof would indeed be a good improvement to dry the coffee beans. We are lucky because freshly picked coffee beans have just arrived, ready to be washed. But first, weight has to be checked and noted. The coffee beans are the kernels inside the berries. The skin and the pulp will be removed. To separate the coffee beans, there are several options ranging from full wash, semi-wash and dry wash. Here, in this processing center, the beans will receive a full wash. And this is done with the use of fresh water from the mountain. The pulp and skin will be reused as natural fertilizer. We move on to our next destination in West Java, Coffee Garut. The location we visit this time is used to ferment, sort and store coffee beans. And like we saw during the picking of the berries, sorting is done by hand. The leader and owner of the facility, of course, loves coffee himself, but he also enjoys practicing karate. And the women working at his facility can be trained by him during their coffee break. Inside the building, he even created a space for training outside the working hours. In addition to the facility we are visiting, there are 5 more workstations in the area. All of them are member of the local coffee cooperative.
Our coffee produced with the best superior varieties from Arabica species. We use 2 parents of Arabica species. It called Typica and Bourbon varieties.
At the workstation we visit, the berries are dried, without the pulp being removed. This results in coffee beans with a special taste.
Yeah. It's nice. Do you like it? Very good. Very good.
Coffee Cupping International wants to export more specialty Indonesian coffee beans, like these, to Europe, and they invited an importer from the Netherlands to join during the journey. He visits Indonesia for the first time.
Ik zie heel veel kansen en mogelijkheden hier in Indonesië. Ik ben een mede-eigenaar van een import- en exportbedrijf. Ik kom oorspronkelijk uit Irak. En ik ben opgegroeid in Nederland. Ik reis heel veel door de hele wereld. Heel belangrijk is dat ik zelf naar de fabriek of naar de boer ga om hen eerst te leren kennen als persoon, de eigenaar leren kennen, kijken wat voor karakter degene heeft, welke achtergrond en tegelijkertijd de productonderzoek, proeven, voelen. Wij zitten ongeveer 80% van onze producten in levensmiddelen. En dan praat ik over de hele wereld. Maar het meeste is uit het Midden-Oosten. Maar we hebben ook voor bijvoorbeeld China, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan en in Indonesië nog niet zoveel, maar het kan eigenlijk meer worden.
Before coffee can be exported to Europe, the farmers and coffee processors have to be sure that their coffee meets the European standards. Otherwise, the coffee cannot be exported.
We zijn hier om te kijken dat wij zo min mogelijk hoofdpijn hebben voor het export. Dat is wel een punt wat heel erg belangrijk is voor de Europese markt. Dat wij de import kunnen maken vanuit Indonesië naar Europa zonder hoofdpijn.
CCI collaborated with Astra and Exim Bank because of this beautiful initiative program that they doing it for a long time with their DSA poster farmers, especially point coffee sector of Indonesia.
In this program, Astra and the Exim Bank work together to benefit the farmers and the agricultural villages.
Indonesia is basically a very big country, and it comprises of various islands and all that. And as you may know, we have over 83,000 villages. And some of those villages are basically advanced villages whereby they're able to produce whatever commodities and have them for exports or for local consumption. And they have like medium villages whereby they need additional work in order to produce commodities. And then of course there's villages that need a lot of work. We take a village and then we look at the products or the commodities that they produce, and we actually assist them through socialization, through education. How can we export these commodities to the various countries outside?
We are still in the center of the island of Java to experience ecotourism. Our host will share his house with us, where we are welcome to stay and sleep. Ecotourism is traveling to natural areas without affecting the environment. It contributes to the well-being of the local communities. Like all the locations we visited so far, coffee means everything for the people we meet.
Why is coffee important for the Muncha Muncha community?
We can go to school, we can go to college because of coffee.
So can you tell me right now where we are and what this building is?
Oh, this building is the center of processor of coffee is Muncar Village. This arena can be a consolidation to our farmers about to developing, researching, harvesting, and this room and this unit processor can be learning many young farmer, young people to learning about process of coffee.
The farmers bring us up to the mountain. At an altitude of 600 meters, they show us their robustas. But on other spots, they also grow Liberica and Excelsa coffee beans. We are still in the center of Java, and we visit Hofland Coffee. They are already exporting and have a large storage in their facility. Although the level of knowledge is high, also here, some of the green beans measure a higher level of humidity. We leave the coffee for a while to have a look at something completely different. We are going to look at a product that is relatively unknown to us. To produce it, you need to collect the liquid of a coconut all the way at the top of the tree. The coconut itself remains on the tree, so it can be tapped again the next time. To produce 1 kilogram of palm sugar, 6 liters of tapped coconut juice are needed.
is niet echt gezond voor je lichaam. Maar nooit geweten eigenlijk dat coconutsuiker eigenlijk gezond is. En dat eigenlijk in heel veel verschillende eten, drinken, je kan het zo in je koffie scheppen. En dat is ook heerlijk. Ik heb het zelf getest met verschillende eten, drinken. Bijvoorbeeld, je kan het mengen met gember, met kaneel, cardamom. Dat was heerlijke thee om het uit te testen. Voor mij is het een hele nieuw product. Maar qua succes, ja, ik geloof erin. Het is gezond voor je lichaam. En wie weet, het kan gaan slagen in Europa.
Next visit is a group of organic farmers with a long time experience with growing rice without the use of any pesticide.
We are now doing testing to the plantation. First is the water test that will make sure the water has no pollution.
Local microbes are used to produce fertilizer. This fertilizer is prepared on the traditional way. It protects the plants and makes the soil rich and healthy.
This is red rice, and this is white rice, and this one is black rice. So all of that, three of that rice is organic.
Being part of Astra's DSA program, the farmers have received several awards for best organic rice producers, and by starting a learning center, they are willing to share their knowledge with other farmers from all over the country. We move on to the east of Java. Dampit is a well-regarded Robusta producing region. Producers here process honey, natural and washed Robusta beans.
Coffee from your area is good.
Kopinya bagus.
So the coffee beans of this area are good and already quite known. But the farmers are facing a serious challenge. The volume of the harvest has drastically reduced, caused by the change of weather conditions.
Karena penghasilannya menurun gitu.
Global warming. Iklim.
Iklimnya, yaitu karena nggak menentu, akhirnya menjadi penghasilan menurun.
Because the global warming make the weather become unpredictable.
And, due to the rise of the temperature, the amount of coffee plant diseases like coffee rust increased. But the chairman keeps his spirits up.
Tapi tetap mengangkat kopi Dampit Robusta mendunia kembali.
Bondowoso, East Java. Two dancing creatures give us a special welcome.
We are in Bondowoso right now. This is a local village. Hello. And they literally just greeted us straight from the car with these traditional costumes, and everybody looking at us and coming in from the houses and walking with us, all the kids with the phones out, filming us, everyone's smiling. It's an amazing atmosphere. We got the music up front in the van. It's just amazing. Hello! Hello! Oh. Whoosh.
90% of the inhabitants of the area we visit are farmers, so many coffee plantations can be found on the surrounding mountains. On the flank of a volcano and in the shadow of tall trees, we find Arabica beans. The coffee berries need shade, which is given by the trees. This shade increases the quality of the Arabica beans. Combining the coffee plants with the trees also contributes to the biodiversity. The farmer explains us that during the processing, the coffee beans are fermented in an environment without oxygen. This is called anaerobic fermentation, and it gives this Arabica beans a taste like wine. But there are more coffees to taste. Among them, coffee beans with an exceptional rich flavor. According to the farmers of these Arabica beans, the rich taste is caused by the soil of the volcano. And the result was more than excellent. Our last stop before we leave Java. Banyuwangi. Here we visit a shop which sells the coffee beans of 10 local farmers. And most of them came to the shop to meet and present their beans. Only the coffees produced by the local farmers are available in this shop. And the Arabica beans in particular have a taste like palm sugar. Once we arrive at the building of the cooperative, we meet an enthusiastic group of young coffee producers. Good training is required in order to improve the quantity and to reach a higher quality of the coffee production. This is especially necessary for the new young generation of coffee producers.
Tidak, itu yang sangat kami harapkan karena kebanyakan sekarang sudah alih generasi, petani-petani kopi itu sudah beralih generasi kepada putra-putranya. Sekarang ada yang kemudian dari pesantren ini membentuk yang namanya petani kopi milenial. Itulah mereka sangat berharap untuk meningkatkan modernitas pengelolaan kopi, mulai dari proses sampai ke pemasaran, bahkan yang terlebih lagi adalah soal pembiayaan.
We leave Java and move on to Bali. On Bali, we will visit Pupuan village, which is located in the center of the island. The Robusta plantation covers more than 1,000 hectares, and the coffee has a chocolate aroma, is high in caffeine and low in acid. Like all other locations visited so far, the beans are checked for the amount of defects. These defects can be caused by insects. Although defects were found, Coffee Cupping International rated the coffees as good. Our journey almost comes to an end. But not before we meet the Manggarai people, the native inhabitants from East Nusa Tenggara, on the island of Flores. The farmers we meet are from 12 villages in the area around Ruteng. They have been through a difficult period, because also here, a part of the harvest has been lost due to diseases and the unpredictable weather. One of the leaders explains that coffee is often sold at a too low price on the local market because the money is too urgently needed. This weakens the position during price negotiations. In case of exports, creating economic stability for the cooperative members would create a better position during price negotiations. Regarding the diseases, the farmers showed us their knowledge about grafting a Robusta root with an Arabica upper section. They combined the strength of the Robusta plant with the more attractive flavor of the Arabicas. Hopefully it will help to resist diseases at the next harvest. It was unique to see and taste all these coffees in the presence of the farmers who produced them. And during the next harvest, we will visit Indonesia again. So the collaboration and the partnership with the cooperatives and farmers will be continued. Because a better access to the global market will benefit the Indonesian farmers. But it also gives the coffee lovers outside the country the chance to enjoy Indonesian coffee.